Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our WCTV Game of the Week. We're here at Nolensville High School. Paul Breece and Doug Capella bringing you the call tonight. Our first chance to see the Nolensville Knights on our Williamson County television. And Doug Capella got us some guys we need to keep a look at for Nolensville.
Well, so Nolensville is going to run in here with a 3-0 record. Solid wins so far. Close one with Giles County, 21-14. Liberty Creek is going to come in with a record of 1-2, new school out of Sumner County. And, you know, Paul, we talked in the beginning of the season, and you mentioned that Nolensville could be a sneaky playoff contender, but when you're 3-0 with good wins, sneaky is not the right word anymore.
Right, I think they've been exposed.
Yeah. So we'll have a chance to see Nolensville this week and then again for homecoming in 2 weeks. And so we'll get to see the Knights roster here, led by a strong offense and stifling defense. So we'll see just what Liberty Creek has to offer as kickoff is going to be underway here. Liberty Creek goes with a pooch kick. The ball's fielded at the 30. And they're looking for a number here. That's going to be 35. Zion Tamaska brings it out to the 40.
Well, you talked about Liberty Creek being a new school. You know, I'm trying to figure out. I believe they don't have any. I mean, I may have to re-look at the roster. I think there are no seniors on this roster.
They do
may
have
one.
Yeah, they have some seniors, but not heavy. Nolensville's going to come out 3 wide, 2 back set. Shotgun snaps good. Pass is caught. Short gain of 6 by number 21, Eric Harper.
Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd and 5.
Well, plenty of time to throw for the Knights right there. Just check down to the third receiver probably right there. Got a gain of 5, but unfortunately, we're probably going to have a holding. So maybe that was the reason why he had a lot of time.
Yep, so they're already moving the ball back, so we're going to have a 5-yard penalty.
1st and 15.
It's going to be a handoff. Trying to make out some numbers here early on. Is that a 10 on the quarterback?
Gain of 8 on the play.
But that does not look like Landon Smotherman.
Well, that's going to be Colby Walton, the senior quarterback. And I'm sure that's
number 18 is.
Yeah.
Handoff to Johnson. Johnson's going to carry the pile for a gain of about 8 on the play. So Nolensville easily makes up the lost yardage on the penalty, and that's going to be a first down in Liberty Creek territory at the 48-yard line.
I think this is a Nolensville line that's going to benefit greatly by the youth and inexperience of the Liberty Creek defensive line.
Well, and we saw it in the pregame where the size differential between Nolensville and Liberty Creek was noticeable. Liberty Creek wasn't very large up front, and that, again, is just an age and in-depth experience and all those different things rolled into it.
Yeah. So that screen pass by Walton tried to get it to Northcutt on the outside. Something simple, and just fell short, so now 2nd and 10.
So you mentioned players to look out for Nolensville. You have number 2, Samson Johnson, and, of course, number 18, Kobe Walton. So there's Sampson right up the middle. He is going to not be touched, I don't believe, and that's going to be a touchdown, 48 yards, right out of my mouth. Number 2, the player to watch, Samson Johnson, 48 yards on the touchdown.
So Doug only took, about a minute, 16 seconds to get on the board. And the Nolensville Knights definitely showing, you know, everybody here don't take it easy for Liberty Creek just because they're a new school. We're gonna try to run it and see what happens.
Well, no negative plays on that drive, and the only really down that wasn't any good was an incomplete pass and a penalty.
That's right.
So just like that, the kick is up and good, and the Nolensville Knights in a minute and 12 seconds or 16 seconds rather, are up 7-0 here in the first quarter. So Nolensville, Paul, not your traditional Williamson County powerhouse, still relatively a young high school. Now, if we were speaking volleyball, that might be a different story. They've won 3 state championships in a row, looking for number 4 this year. But football takes a little while to build. But as we said in the startup, big things expected from the Knights program this year.
Well, I definitely think coming in that there was a lot of expectations. You know, they've had some success in the playoffs in the past.
And I think this was the year that they expected to put it all together. They've had offense in some years and not defense. Some years they've had defense and not offense. And this year they've been able to seem to put both pieces together in an impressive 3-0 start to the season.
Yeah. So Coach Paul Derrick got to be partially smiling, even though it's early. He's still got to keep that poker face.
So Liberty Creek next time may want to rethink the pooch kick.
That's right.
Nolensville back to kick. Kick is up. It's a line drive. It's going to hit the 5. Not good for Nolensville, and it's going to roll out at about the 2-yard line. So that is going to give Liberty Creek better than anticipated field position.
Kick out of bounds. The Wolves take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So not much to say, as we said with Liberty Creek, new school, comes in with a 1-2 record on the year.
Allied Overhead Doors in serving Middle Tennessee since 1977. Locally owned, Allied Overhead Door can repair any garage door.
They are going to run a version of the
wing,
it looks like. And so probably as a new school, a wing is an offense that when you don't have a lot of talent just yet, you might want to run it, keep games close.
Barbudo, the ball carrier.
Yeah, definitely keep the clock running, like you talked about, keeping games close. You know, not a risky, doing a lot of misdirection stuff, maybe catch one off.
You're not going to see a lot of downfield passes or anything explosive like that. You're going to see a lot of backs in motion. And so now that I say that, they open up in 3 wide. Quarterback's under pressure. Escapes one guy, escapes a second, still running. And he's going to be out of bounds. Flag on the play. I think they're going to get popped for holding here, Coach, right on the sideline there. I think the receiver got a little excited on the outside, and it looks like this is probably going to be holding right there on the outside.
So obviously the quarterback, junior Brian Rager, is going to be running for his life, maybe. And so what do we learn? He's got some escapability.
He does, and as anticipated, holding there on Liberty Creek, so that's going to back it up. What was a good play. So it's going to be 2nd and about 14 from the 30-yard line, 31 we'll call it. And so far, Liberty Creek 3 plays, 3 completely different offensive formations. Here we're in 3 wide, single back set. Takes a snap, hands off, and he is met immediately in the backfield. Number 93 for the Knights makes the tackle. That's going to be Trey Woods, the senior. He almost took the handoff there, Coach.
Absolutely. Kind of a
Jadeveon Clowney, Coach.
Clowney, I'm sorry.
I'm here for you.
Whew. All that barbecue fed me before the game.
Yeah, he was met in the backfield. Looked like a defensive line stunt there, and it was wide open. And he met the ball carrier as the ball carrier met the ball. So Liberty Creek still looking for some offensive identity here. Back in 3 wide. Single, no back. Now make that 4 wide. Takes a snap. Quick throw to the outside, and the receiver just falls down there almost at the sticks. Gains about 1. And, Paul, I'm going to – they don't have height and weight on here, but 85 is not your largest player on the field by any stretch.
Maybe the best receiver. We may be able to catch the ball. Yeah.
Potentially. Number 4, Dylan Northcutt for the Knights will be back deep.
Dangerous returner. If he can catch it on the run.
This could spell trouble for Liberty Creek.
Absolutely.
He's got his heels at the 40. So we'll see if there's any trickeration, although I doubt it here with Liberty Creek here backed up at their own, punting from their 12-yard line. Punts up and high, not a great punt. Bounces at the original first down marker. So the Knights are going to take over on Liberty Creek's side of the field, depending on where the official spots it. So it's going to be at the 50-yard line.
We'd like to thank the Bone and Joint Institute.
And that is where the Nolensville Knights will take over, 8:30 here in the first quarter on your WCTV Game of the Week.
Megan Klein is your certified athletic trainer, and Dr. Todd Worth is your team physician. Visit us at boneandjointtn.org.
So Nolensville's going to take over, and they are wide open. 3 wide, single back set. Snaps good. Looking deep.
Man.
Has a man. And that is money to number 1. Easy touchdown. Chance Fitzgerald beats his man deep. So the Walton Fitzgerald connection on the first play of the drive goes 50 yards. And just like that, it is 13-0 here in Nolensville. Paul, I was just going to comment on there's no sight line quite like the skyline here in Nolensville.
Oh,
beautiful sunset, but that pass.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We got a fire situation.
Fire situation, bad snap on the kick, and it's going to be intercepted in the end zone, and that'll leave the score 13-0 with 8:21 left in the first. Where I was going before the bad snap is beautiful sunsets here in Nolensville with the way the field's positioned, but that pass was a thing of beauty as well. So Liberty Creek here in their trip to Williamson County might be thinking, uh-oh, what exactly did we run into here? 3.5 minutes off the clock, and it is 13-0.
They have hamburgers, hot
yeah,
dogs,
I mean,
cheeseburgers,
one play drive, right?
By our own
What was that,
culinary
50
arts
yards, right on the
So
money?
grab a burger and support
And,
our culinary program.
Well, and very typical of new programs, Paul, they just don't have the horses just yet. I mean, and when the pass was up in the air, the receiver was 10 yards away from the closest defender. It wasn't even close.
Well, I will say, I mean, I'm a uniform junkie. If I rate Liberty Creek's uniforms, I
A+.
Yeah, absolutely.
A+, most definitely. And their home field, I've seen pictures of it, is nothing short of spectacular for a high school. Well done, Sumner County. Kick is up. Looks like it's going to stay in bounds this time. Liberty Creek will take it at the 4 to the 10.
Oh, my.
And he is nailed at the 12-yard line, and he's going to be slow getting up. Looks like number 25 on the tackle for the Knights. That's going to be Brock Majors, a senior.
10-yard return to the
Big hit
by number 10,
on the
Landon
kickoff.
Wolves take over 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Well, here we go. Liberty Creek's second opportunity here on offense. I mean, you went 3 different offensive sets, Doug. What do we got?
And they weren't offensive. They were completely different offenses.
Yeah.
And so here we're 2 wide. Man comes in motion out of the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff. And again, no room to run, and he's going to be hit for a loss. And the frustration on Liberty Creek mounting is number 18, the quarterback, Bryan Rager, just puts his hands up in the air as the running back is met in the backfield.
Met in the backfield.
You know, Liberty Creek, being a new school, TSSAA, you're on 2-year contracts, right, to home and away. Well, coming in this year, they're in year 2, so they had a hard time filling. I think if I read it correctly, they were playing a team from, like, West Virginia last week.
Which the kids may have loved because they probably got out of school early, but. So there's a hard count here. I'm not sure if Nolensville jumped or Liberty Creek, so it's going to be on Nolensville, offsides. Yeah. So Liberty Creek gets some yardage back with the hard count.
And they may have to, do that every once in a while to keep things
keep the ball moving, keep them honest.
I mean, like you said, we've almost had 2 handoffs almost intercepted or met in the backfield. The hard count is definitely going to have to come in play. Just
waiting to see here. Play clock running. Liberty Creek is going to line up with a big formation to the left, one wide out to the right. Another handoff. He's got some room this time. 22 for Liberty Creek, breaks a tackle, makes another man miss, and he's going to be taken on the sideline. That's going to be Jake Barbudo, who's listed as a tight end here on the depth chart. Took the handoff there and got a first down, so not a bad offensive play there for Liberty Creek.
Well, it looked like the hole just kind of clogged up, and he just bounced to the outside, and that's what a good running back does. I mean,
yep, run the daylight.
I mean, being listed as a tight end, I don't know if that was the intent, but hey, give it to him again.
So the Nolensville sideline here, it is USA themed tonight. So the students over here decked out in their red, white, and blue, looking good over here. Liberty Creek's going to be, again, in kind of a wedge formation here. This time they're going to be stacked up.
Yeah.
So they've rotated from the wing to the spread to a tight spread. I mean, it's lots of different things going on here with the Liberty Creek offense.
Brings up second down.
You know, and I think what the coach is trying to do is see if he can find a mismatch on the defense. But sometimes it's hard to run in and out of different offensive formations when you're a high school kid. So we have 2nd and 12, correction. Played a half of a quarter here. Liberty Creek definitely running the clock down here between plays. Plays are coming in slow and steady. Got about 8 seconds on the play clock. Again, Liberty Creek staying with a form of the wing. There's a fake handoff.
Oh, nice.
Pass is broken up, but and there's a flag on the play. I thought he may have gotten there a little bit early.
Defended on the play by Eric Parker.
See what the call is here.
Flag on the play.
Not a bad call, but not a great one either. Looked like it could have gone either way, but they're going to call pass interference on the Knights. So that's going to give Liberty Creek another first down. So 2 penalties on this drive, keeping the Liberty Creek players moving down the field.
Those bootleg rollout pass plays right there gives Liberty Creek's quarterback a chance to at least throw the ball without getting pressured and throwing off the back foot.
So one positive note is Rager, a good-looking quarterback, is only a junior. So he will be back next year. So here we go from the wing to the spread. We've got 3 wide on the bottom side of the field, single back set, which could spell trouble because there's going to be some pressure. Pass is broken up there by number 33 for the Nolensville Knights. That's going to be Jackson Bandy Jr.
That time Rager did have time to throw and a drop back. And just seemed a little high right there. I bet you Rager plays baseball the way he's throwing the football like that, kind of different release.
Well, Nolensville's not sending anyone. That was just 4-man pressure up front. He had a little bit of pressure from his backside, but nothing that he had to rush on. Just to Nolensville's credit, Coach, they've had pretty good coverage on these passes. 2nd down and 10 on the 45. Got motion. Rager's going to keep it, and he's going to regret it. Tackled by 3 Knight defenders there. And that's going to be a loss of about 3.
Well, the question is that a read option kind of deal?
Loss of 3 on the play.
Like you said, I'm sure he's probably like, maybe I should have gave it to you.
3rd down.
Puts it in a long 3rd down situation, unfortunately, for Liberty Creek.
And, when you look at the Liberty Creek strategy here, I think the coach knows they're probably a year or 2 away from playing successful football. And so things like long plays between letting the play clock run and running the football, these are strategies because no one wants to lose 60-0, right? So they're going to try to keep things close.
Fumble.
So there's a
it's
fumble
picked
there.
Up.
Picked up on the hop. Looks like number 8 for the Knights, if my vision's correct.
No flags on the field.
That looks like Tarek Washington on the scoop and score.
Takes it in 50 yards for the touchdown.
So to recap, Liberty Creek throws a pass. It's caught in the flat area. Players hit, ball gets on the ground and hops right into Tarek's hands, and he scoops, and you wasn't catching Tarek. He was gone.
Got the good turf bounce right there.
That's a home field bounce right there for sure. And so Liberty Creek, who had some things going for him on that drive, just see things fall apart almost right away as scoop and score for a touchdown. It's one thing to punt there, Coach, and make them drive the length of the field. It's another for a scoop and score touchdown. And just like that, it's 20-0 here in the first quarter.
We're going to check it out. It was a good screen pass, and it just has you spinning to try to get that extra yardage. A little punch out right there, and there's the ball.
So it looks like number 33 for Nolensville, Jackson Bandy, punches the ball loose on the tackle. And that's when Tarek Washington there is to reap the benefits of the turf bounce. And he runs with a caravan into the end zone.
You can join at nhsptso.com. We would also like to thank MTSU for sponsoring our Nightmare NHS.
Coach, you generally don't see the team that defers kick the ball off 3 times in the first quarter.
That's right.
But when it's 20-0, that happens. So the Knights are lining up to kick again. The receiver is probably hoping for a kick out of bounds right here, the way things shook out last time. Ball's up in the air. Fields it at about the 4, same place. And he brings it out to the 20 this time. It's going to be number 88 for Liberty Creek. It's going to be J.T. Porter, and he's just a freshman.
Wow. Well, good for him. Caught it cleanly, got some yards, back to the 20. Here's I guess if you can see anything positive about it, right? Liberty Creek had a semi-good drive. They don't have to play defense. Now they get to work on some more offense.
That's right. And so they're going to take over at about the 20. 22, I believe, again. It's going to be Jake Barbudo, listed as a tight end here. He's going to get the carry, and he's going to get about 2 yards.
Gain of 1 on the play.
Make it about 3 as they move the sticks on us.
Second down.
Looks like just about every player for Liberty Creek that they have on their team is on their field, Coach. Not many players on the bench over there. Whereas Nolensville could probably field 3 teams right now. Liberty Creek out of the shotgun, single back. Handoff's going to be to Barbudo once again, who's running hard. It's going to gain about 4. So a couple positives. Barbudo, also a junior. So if that's their feature back, who he looks pretty good when he has a little bit of space, and their quarterback, who looks sharp as a junior, a year in the weight room with the line, they might have something to work with going into next year. And by no means is this to poor mouth Liberty Creek. It's just all the makings of a new school and the difficulties of starting a football program. Whereas Nolensville's established, and I think they got him on the hard count again.
Yep.
So another thing, Liberty Creek has been fairly disciplined up to this point.
That's right.
Nolensville's been called for 2 offsides penalties. They've been called for a pass interference penalty. And I think the only penalty on Liberty Creek was a holding play.
I mean, you're basically asking like a JV program to come play a top 10 5A school
in Williamson County. Yeah.
And say, good luck, guys.
Yeah. Give it your best, fellas.
So, Liberty Creek probably, doing what their coaching staff thinks to kind of slow this down.
Speed it up.
Take your time.
Yep. Speed the game up, slow the clock. Barbudo gets the handoff again. and he's going to be met by a host of Knight defenders after about a gain of 1.5 yards.
Barbudo, the ball carrier, gain of 2 on the play.
So, Coach, one thing the Knights have to watch for on third down is the hard count.
Second
That,
down.
that has definitely been something that
The Knights have struggled with up to this point.
Liberty Creek's had some success with.
Well, you know, it's the psychological side of it. When you're playing for Nolensville and the game's going this way, you get a little antsy because you want to be the person making the next big play, the next guy up, and that can lead to an offsides, a false start.
Well, the play clock's down to 5. We'll see if they get this off.
2, 1, they do get it off.
Oh, my.
And he has been so he's sacked there.
I think Paul Derrick and the coaching staff were like, okay, we've had enough of this.
So, you know, when the play clock's running down, the defense can see it. So you only got one choice when it gets to 1 second. You got to snap the ball. And so as soon as they snapped the ball, he had 4 Knight defenders in his face.
That's an offensive lineman where you turn around and go, what happened?
So that's going to be 3rd and about 15. I don't know that a hard count's going to help them too much here.
And they'd have to do it 3 times in a row.
So they go with a normal count. Okay. Rager's going to roll out to his right, throws across his body. Pretty good throw. 31 almost comes down with it, but it's going to be incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down.
Incomplete.
So Rager there throws across his body, rolling out to the right, throws left to the middle of the field. Good throw.
Brings up 4th down.
Again, Rager, a good-looking young quarterback here.
Deep to receive.
So some parts, some pieces for Liberty Creek, some things to work on for next year.
Yeah. You know, Rager on the rollout, being a runner, it's kind of creates a little opportunity for the offense, but just hadn't been able to hit his receiver. Oh, my.
Punt is up and away. It's going to bounce on the turf. Liberty Creek is going to let it roll, and it takes a very favorable Liberty Creek bounce, giving them about 12 extra yards on the punt, where it will be downed on the 26-yard line.
Flag.
Down at the 27-yard line.
Flag on the play.
1st and 10, Nolensville.
See what we get here. I didn't see anything.
Oh, it's going to be on Nolensville.
Holding on Nolensville.
Holding against the Knights.
So they will retain possession, but it's going to back them up a little bit.
Well, last time Nolensville had the ball.
One play.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Nolensville offense should be well rested as they scored on one play, and then defense has been on the field for most of the first quarter.
When they thought they were getting the ball back, they recovered the
scoop and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So here we got a handoff to Samson Johnson, stiff arm, and he's going to be brought out at about the 30-yard line.
Johnson, the ball carrier. Gain of 12 on the play.
12-yard gain, Doug.
Good for a
There's Coach Derrick right there.
Down.
See if they try to run a play here before the first quarter's over. They don't have to. Nolensville's going to come out in the shotgun. 3 wide set. First quarter's running down. He does snap it. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle.
Oh, wow.
This could be trouble. Breaks a tackle. This is going to be a touchdown. Looks like trying to get a number there. Looks like 33.
Yeah, that's our guy.
70 yards for the score.
It's going to be 35 for
35,
the Knights.
yep.
Zion Tamaska.
He looked like he was shot out of a cannon right there.
He didn't have to make many moves, Coach. He ran straight up the middle for what was, I think, about a 70-yard touchdown. So that drive, 2 plays, 37 seconds. And so our first quarter is going to end 27-0. Your Nolensville Knights. Liberty Creek
And we're going to see it right here, a little trap play, a little kick-out block, linebacker, second level, safety missed tackle, forget about it. 70 yards, a cloud of dust.
And, Coach, he was shot out of a cannon, and there was 2 receivers that were ahead of him on the play. It's Nolensville has been blessed with an abundance of speed. And so Tomasca was gone, but 2 receivers in front of him, and they served as lead blockers on that 70-yard touchdown run. And so Liberty Creek on the sideline there, their coach has the whole team in a huddle between the quarters. And so you can only imagine what that coach is trying to say to his players, being down 27-0.
We'd also like to thank our touchdown sponsor, Williamson Medical Center, and the Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee.
So Bill Alexander there on the screen talking to his kids. Tall order here, Coach, with them coming to Williamson County, and like you said, probably playing, you said top 10, maybe one of the top 5 schools are in Williamson County. And it's a tall order when you're a brand new program.
That is a fact. And, you know, Nolensville was there, right? Just
absolutely.
A few years ago. They were the school that, you know, played a JV schedule, you know, their first year, I believe, coming out, and took their lumps. And everybody's just been loyal and just bought in. And
well, and if you do it right, Coach, it kind of, Nolensville, they have a great crowd. Their band has grown, huge community support. We came up to people tailgating in the parking lot. And I think Liberty Creek won't be far from that. They have a beautiful campus, and they have some good athletes on their program. So if they continue to grow, same thing.
And you got, I mean, back here you got greenways to neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about community for sure. And the way they rallied around the Little League
World Series team,
yeah. I mean, it's just amazing.
Kick is up.
Oh, we got offsides.
And so these are the things when you are the Nolensville Knights, not every team on your schedule is going to be Liberty Creek, so you have to focus on the discipline of these plays, because when you're playing similar competition and offsides of pass interference, that can be the ball game. You and I called a game last year with Ravenwood where the team that got off the bus was the better team, but so many penalties.
That's right. I think that was Fort Lee.
It was someplace out of Virginia, I remember. The athletes all over the field, but I think they had 3 touchdowns called back. So here we are. We're going to re-kick from 5 yards further back here. Liberty Creek has their heels on about the 10. Kick is up. 85 there for Liberty Creek's going to field it at the 15.
Uh-oh.
Has a seam.
Uh-oh.
Takes a hit, still on his feet. Coach, a little freshman there, taking it back to the 39, takes a couple good shots, but keeps the feet moving.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you talked about he didn't know which direction he was at, but he was going.
Well, I think one more hit, he had been running in the other direction.
I think so.
From the 38-yard line.
But to his credit, he runs, and this coach, this is a little guy that took a pretty significant shot on his first action. Yeah. And to his credit, comes back and shows toughness there on the play and brings it out to the 38, where Liberty Creek will take over. It's a guessing game, Coach, as to what formation we will see out of Liberty Creek on this drive. So here they come out of kind of a pistol formation. Handoff to Barbudo, and he's going to be tackled immediately, which has been somewhat of a common thread here of the Nolensville defense. Liberty Creek's found some daylight a couple times, but for the most part, the ball carriers are getting met in the backfield when they take the handoff. So Barbudo is going to take it for a yard. 2nd and 9.
And I saw on that tackle right there, the Knights who are trying to make the tackle, they were pulling the ball, trying to strip it out.
Yeah, it's the anxiousness, right? I want to score a touchdown too, and I mean it's good. That's a contagious feeling, but it's 27-0 here, and so everybody's looking for a big play. So we're out of the shotgun now, and this is going to be a pitch to Barbudo, who has some room, tough running, and he's going to have a first down, and he's going to be across the 50 to about the 47-yard line.
That may be the first official first down other than a penalty.
1st and 10 for the Wolves.
So some flashes here from Liberty Creek.
Yeah, just a nice toss right there, and first down, Liberty Creek.
Some of this may be emotion. The coach gave him a fiery speech there between quarters and firing him up a little bit. 85 comes in motion. Handoff's going to be to Barbudo again, and he's met. So, Coach, he had 3 carries, and he got a first down, but he's still going to have about 10 yards on those 3 carries because he's lost yards twice.
You know, it's interesting to see that they motion into where the handoff is going. Usually they use the motion as a misdirection or a decoy of like, oh, follow this guy. We're not going that way.
Well, I think they're bringing as many people over to block as they can, right?
Well, that may be a possibility.
They're trying to get a hat on a hat that side of the field because Nolensville is all in the backfield on just about every play. Snaps up to Barbudo again. Has a little bit of room where he's going to be met by about 5 night defenders. He's going to pick up about 4.
It was good for him. He didn't go down. Kind of, you know, and that's something that, you know, the Nolensville linemen will remember. Is like, hey, man, we tried to tackle this guy. He didn't go down. So
we're going to have 3rd and about 6. I'm going to make a prediction here and say that they're going to go with a hard count here. Try to get the night defenders to give them some free yardage. So they're going with a wide set. Had 2 people in motion there, which is usually a penalty.
Good completion.
Pass is thrown to about the 34-yard line.
Pass
31 to Taylor.
Just for a Wolves first down.
Liberty Creek sent their man in motion, and their receiver wasn't set yet, but the official let the play run. And that's going to bring up first down and 10 from about the 30, call it the 33-yard line. Liberty Creek waiting for the play. You know, one disadvantage of letting the clock run down like this is it gives the defense a breath between every play. New back in, that's going to be number 35. And he's going to say, all right, Barbudo, come on back in. So that's going to be Gabriel Rosario, freshman, on the carry, and he's going to be met immediately in the backfield for about a loss of 4, but there is a flag on the play.
I think it's a false start on Liberty Creek.
Yep, false start. Look, Nolensville will decline the penalty because the yards are going to be about the same, only it's going to be a loss of down. Actually, the play will have lost more yards than the penalty, so we're going to have 2nd and 16. Liberty Creek on the 39. Quarterback still in the shotgun, single back set, looking downfield.
Oh.
I think 85 was guilty, Coach, of looking downfield before catching the football there.
Yeah.
I believe 85 is just a freshman. That's going to be Dylan Mitchell. No, he is a junior. But he dropped the ball and looked immediately around to see who was coming.
Yeah.
So here we are, 8 minutes and 8 seconds to play.
Well, the worst thing about an incomplete pass for Liberty Creek,
stops the clock. That's right. To their credit, they've run 4 minutes off of the clock here, just about in the second quarter.
That's right.
Out of the shotgun. Has lots of pressure. Dumps it off to the outside to number 13, where it's going to be incomplete. So Rager has made some things happen with his feet. Has a decent arm, but couldn't bring it all together there as the ball dropped at Kyle Farmer's feet on the near side of the football field. So now all of a sudden it's 4th and 15, and Liberty Creek is back to punt. The punts have been short and high up to this point, and Nolensville's not really had an opportunity to return any. Now, on the last one, I believe there was a holding penalty on the Knights, so it would have negated any type of return anyway. Snaps back, punts up in the air. It's going to be a line drive. It's going to take another friendly Liberty Creek bounce, and it's still rolling. And they down it at about the 1-inch line.
Yep. And, you know, Doug, you got to realize there's a lot of lines down there.
They have a soccer field painted, and it got me confused. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was halfway in the end zone or on the 1-inch line, but there it is on the 1-inch line. Coach, this is field position where a school record could be made here.
Man, you just took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say that. I was going to be like, 99 yards, school record. Samson Johnson, maybe. Here we go.
Those records cannot be broken of the 99-yard variety.
Yep, they're always in the archives, no matter what.
So here we are, and the coach has got to be thinking, okay, maybe we can score a 99-yarder here.
Well, the crazy thing is Liberty Creek has really no safety. I still wouldn't trust it. Northcutt is a fantastic quarterback. Walton is a fantastic quarterback. I mean, he's going in shotgun, for heaven's sakes.
He's got a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Sampson. Makes a man move.
Man.
Oh, and there goes. Grabbed by the Jersey friend. He had one man to beat, and he gets tackled at the 20.
You know, it's funny. I wonder if kids think that, right? I wonder if they're down at the 1 going, okay, I'm getting my number called. If I go 99, it's a school record.
Yep, so Samson Johnson on the carry, and he's going to be down at the 20. So just like that, 20 yards. The offensive line has not had a lot of work tonight. I think they've run a total of 7 plays on offense. Man in motion here for the Knights. Snaps good. Quarterback's looking, has his man. Number 21 makes the catch. Gets to about the 35. That's going to be Eric Harper on the catch. Another first down. So Nolensville not huddling, but not exactly going with up-tempo either. So Walton, couple good balls tonight. I think he's only thrown in 1 incomplete pass.
That's right. Definitely
has arm strength to go the distance. So they're 3 wide set here, single back. Fakes the handoff. Walton's looking. There's a flag. This is probably going to be in the neighborhood of holding on the Knights.
Well, I'm sure Northcutt, who caught that ball, if he went the distance and turned around and saw the holding, he would be like a little more upset. Now he's like, okay, all right. What?
10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So again, we speak to these mental mistakes the Knights are making. So lots of things, even in a 27-0 first half, there's things to work on if you're the coach of the Knights, and a lot of it deals with discipline, as they've been, I think that's their 6th penalty of the night. 2 offsides, a holding, a pass interference. So the ball will be on the 21-yard line now. Knights are out in 3 wide, single back set. Walton back to get the snap. Snaps back and clean, looks immediately to the small side of the field. Catch is made. Number 21, Eric Harper, makes the catch for a modest gain.
Yeah.
So with it being second and what looks to be about 15, you wonder if they're going to at some point take another shot deep here.
By Farmer. Second down for the Knights.
I'm going to call a handoff. You call pass, I'll call run. One of us hopefully will get it right.
We have a 50-50 shot, Coach. There's a snap. It was a pitch, so we both win. So Samson Johnson turns the corner. He's going to be hit by a host of Liberty Creek defenders, but after he gets the first down by 10 yards and then some. So 2nd and 15 turns to 1st and 10 on the Liberty Creek 45.
Hold that.
Oh, and there it is.
You knew when the Nolensville Knights offense didn't start trotting down there, you knew it was bad news.
Coach,
more holding.
Holding against the Knights.
So that's going to back him up another 10. So, Coach, maybe Nolensville needs to call a timeout and bring the players out into a circle here, as this is just penalty after penalty. in an otherwise, I don't want to use the word blowout, but a not evenly matched football game.
Yeah, come late October, these mistakes have got to.
Nolensville's 3 wide.
Screen.
Pressure. Screen pass underneath. That's going to be to number 4, Dylan Northcutt. And as of the moment, he has a first down. We don't see any laundry on the field, and they're moving the sticks. So there it is, 1st and 10.
Tackled by South, brings up 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line.
So the Knights on the
Thank
move.
you to our first down sponsor, First Horizon Bank, for all of your banking needs.
So
First Horizon.
a little bit more of an even pace to this quarter as it's 27-0, but no points scored in this quarter. Walton looking deep.
Somebody.
2 receivers in the neighborhood. But the pass falls at the feet of number 4, Harper, or rather Northcutt. Northcutt just ran about 180 yards on that play, so he's asking if he can come out now. So that's the other thing. When you're running 20 and 30 yards at a time and it's getting called back, your offense tends to get tired. So both receivers come out for the Knights.
Well, and that's the thing that Nolensville has developed now is the depth.
Yep.
And that's going to pay dividends as we move along.
Well, and this will be your handoff here, Coach.
Samson, you ready?
And there it is. There's the handoff up the middle. Samson is going to take it to about he's going to get about 3 on the play, where you'll have 3rd and about 7.
3rd down territory.
Maybe a first for the Knights tonight.
Possibly.
3rd down.
First by South. 2nd down.
Well, they're saying 2nd down, but I believe that's 3rd. There we go. Based off that massively incomplete pass.
3rd down.
So here we go, out of the shotgun. Northcutt and Fitzgerald check back into the lineup for the Knights. Snap. Walton looking, and there he goes. Chance Fitzgerald right over the middle. Coach, that's just backyard football right there.
Kind of a rub route right there. Got him on the slant.
And there you just see the athleticism there of Chance Fitzgerald. He catches it, and it's at that point Liberty Creek's just like, all right, huddle.
Extra point, 51.
That's a true kicker number.
Absolutely.
High school kicker number right there.
Boom.
51, yeah.
Holy mackerel, heads up. That's going to hit somebody.
He kicked that right into the locker room. So here it is, 34-0, your first or your second quarter. 4:36 left in the half. And this is probably how Liberty Creek wanted the first quarter to go. If it was 7-0 with 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter, Liberty Creek would probably take that score. Unfortunately, Nolensville added 27 points to the first quarter.
He's like, Coach, did you see that? I was open.
Coach, run that back.
Yeah. Yeah, show it to me on the iPad. Look at me.
Please do your part in keeping our stadium
Man, it's amazing, right?
by putting your trash
When the Titans first moved to Nashville, a buddy of mine used to be the guy that ran the pictures down from the press box to the sidelines. And
it wasn't a stone tablet, Coach?
This was, come on.
Almost.
99.
You know, those receivers, when they catch passes like that, it's like my lab at home. He can't eat enough. He wants more and more and more. And so he's going to say, Coach, come on. You saw that. Feed me again. Feed me all night.
He's going to be like, sorry, man, 34-0.
He's going to say, hey, you got about 2 more plays in this game. So there, Liberty Creek will field it at the 10 by number 2. This is his first time
chance,
returning.
Yeah.
And that's going to be Lane McKee, the senior.
McKee on the return.
I don't know that Nolensville knew that he was the senior, because other than that, they've kicked to the freshman all night.
I'm sure that was the plan from the start. Maybe that time the kicker, it's amazing. 51 was the place kicker, 96, kickoff guy.
So Liberty Creek will take over at the 25-yard line.
If I would have been the kicker and they asked me what number I wanted, I probably would have said 99. So 4:26 here in the second quarter. Nolensville Knights 34, Liberty Creek 0. Paul, Breece, and Doug Capella here at Nolensville High School. The sunset has gone down.
Barbudo, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 7, Jaden White.
So a short gain right there on the handoff. So we'll see if Liberty Creek can get out of this offensive series to halftime. But the clock just seems to be going really slow when you're down 34-0.
Yeah, and they're doing their best. They're looking at the play clock. They're running it down just about every time. But you got to be careful with that because if you're running it down to 1, the defense can see that clock too. So here we have a handoff to Barbudo, who's run strong, just hasn't had a lot of lanes. And so there he gets about 1 on the play.
The ball carrier. Gain of 1 on the play.
They're going to have to fill up a tub of ice on the bus and just throw him in it on the way home.
Dude.
Third down.
For sure.
So we got 3rd and about 8 here. So just like that, Liberty Creek faces a 3rd and long. Random fireworks going off here tonight.
Somebody must have told the firework guy. They scored. Nope, not yet.
So 3rd and 8. Liberty Creek, 2 wide, shotgun formation, single back.
Uh-oh, bootleg.
Rager rolls out, throws it to number 12. 30. And he's going to be tackled.
33.
Rager's pass complete to Shell.
So it's going to be 4th and
Gain of 5 on the play. Tackled
call
by
it
34,
4.
Jackson Bandy. Brings up 4th down.
Is that Bandy? Is that his 33?
33 is Bandy.
He is he's a prototypical
Jackson Bandy all over the field.
What's your favorite thing to do, Jackson? Hit. Tackle.
So they don't have, they're going for it here on 4th and 4.
Hard count. They need 4 or 5 would give them the first time.
So I don't think they're going to snap it here,
No,
and they don't. So the Knights show some discipline here on 4th and short. They don't fall for the hard count.
I'm seeing bats flying everywhere.
Bats, fireworks, and football, Coach.
Absolutely.
Allied overhead doors from serving Middle Tennessee since 1977. Giving them the experience and
fall starting to creep in these games as the temperatures getting into the low 70s, high 60s.
Can you tell how excited I am about tomorrow and Sunday? Oh,
it's going to be a great weekend, Coach. We got UT traveling to Pittsburgh on Saturday, which should be a great game. Titans open up at home against the Giants.
Remember, 3:25 kickoff.
That's not fair to us folks here.
No.
That's prime Costco grocery shopping time right there,
I'm
Coach.
Sure. But, yeah, I mean, it's a football fans' dream this weekend. Get a little double dip. Triple dip if you're watching us tonight on Williamson County Television.
So here we go. Liberty Creek back to punt. Snap is good. Punt's up. It's going to be high and short.
End over end.
I was just about to say, based off of the trajectory and velocity there, Coach, it was going to roll back towards them. And it did roll back about 2 yards and went out of bounds. And so Nolensville's probably going to be looking for some form of quick strike here as there's a minute 51 left.
You know what? I'd be shocked if they threw it up top. At this stage in the game, if you run it in and score, that's okay.
Well, there's there's generally the unspoken camaraderie amongst coaches where you don't want to rub someone else's nose in it because it could always come back around to get you. So we'll see. Although he backs up, Walton's still scrambling, throwing, looking. He tucks it, has a little bit of room, and for the first time tonight, he shows the wheels, Coach.
Well, it looked like there was a screen set up because you had linemen down the field, and it was a very smart decision on Walton to run it, because if he would have thrown it, there would have been a flag for ineligible receivers downfield. All 3 linemen were down there. At least 3 of them were.
Again, you would think being up 34-0 in the first half is a coach's dream, but as we've pointed out tonight, there's lots of things that you can look at this game and say, guys, better competition, this costs us a football game.
That's right. And there's a flag.
There's a flag on the play. 21 on the catch. He's going to be caught and taken down at the 19-yard line. Flag on the play. The Knights seem to be moving downfield, so we're waiting on the call here.
Flag on the play.
Well, he's looking at Liberty Creek sideline like, what do you want to do? You want to back him up?
Well, I'm going to say they're going to back him up here because that was about a 17-yard gain. False start on the Knights.
And you've reiterated this a few times tonight. You talked about the mental mistakes.
Still second down.
When you really don't have any kind of pressure on you, right, to perform, I mean, you're just going through the motions. That's when you kind of get sloppy. And Nolensville's going to run into a team later on that's
where that may, especially when you look at the playoffs where the competition intensifies, it's the mental mistake that's usually going to separate you from the other team as far as who's going to win or lose. So Nolensville's in the shotgun here. Takes a snap, quick pass out to number 4, makes a move.
Oh, man.
Makes a move back outside, and Coach, he's showing the juice right there. He had 2 good moves. That's going to be number 4 for the Knights.
Northcutt.
Dylan Northcutt on the play.
You know, one thing we can check on in the second half is Henry County has come up to Brentwood High School to play. Henry County, a 5A powerhouse, probably something, you know, that Nolensville may want to keep their eye on.
So Northcutt not only makes the catch, gets a first down, but also gets out of bounds. So here, Johnson on the short little catch there, but makes something out of it. Gets about, hard to see. I don't even know if he made positive yards here.
False start, flag.
Flag on the play.
So the Knights having difficulty here establishing any kind of consistency on this drive. Coach Young sighting there on the sidelines. Nolensville's 3-time championship winning volleyball coach down there. Had a good chance to talk to him last year in our WCTV series. It was a good time as he actually got to coach his senior daughter, who was now playing, I believe, for Freed-Hardeman University on the volleyball team. So he had a chance to talk on what it was like to coach his daughter during her senior year of a championship-winning season. I think any dad that would coach their child like that, that's something that you would really cherish for your lifetime. So here we are. We have about 15 seconds left in the first half. The home crowd, Nolensville Knights, 34, visiting Liberty Creek 0. On your WCTV Game of the Week. So, Coach, it's leaning towards us getting there. Can you tell me what the running clock rule is for the second half?
30.
So
30 points.
30-point differential. So we're there. We've met that threshold. So 30 points in the second half, and it'll be a running clock, which means that on incomplete passes and things of that, the clock will continue to run. It's a mercy rule. Quick pass out. Breaks a tackle there. Number 4, that's going to be Dylan Northcutt, and he's going to be tackled at the 2-yard line. 8 seconds remain here in the first quarter. It's not clear. His clock is stopped.
Yeah,
so
on the first down. They're going to stop it. Now Paul Derrick's going to call a timeout. You'll see right here. Just a simple pitch and catch right here by
Timeout Nolensville.
Walton to Northcutt, and it's all Northcutt after this.
Northcutt catches it on about the hashes, and then it's a little shake and bake down the field. And he's just an athlete, Coach. He's got the speed, the moves, and he made his way down the field pretty quickly. And I'm actually surprised he got caught where he did at the 2-yard line. So timeout here on the field, 8 seconds left.
This is all the pomp and circumstance. This is going to be Samson Johnson all day, every day.
See if Coach Breece can speak that into existence.
Count it. Count it. Number 2, he's trotting on the field right there. If the ball doesn't go to number 2's hands, Doug, halftime meal on me.
So here we go. Barring any yellow material on the field.
That's right.
We have first
Oh,
and
my
goal.
goodness. What is going
Goes
on?
to the air, and that's going to be a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. Yep. And he was
we're
looking flag.
Looking for a penalty.
Well, I guess a Chick-fil-A sandwich is on me, Doug. Dadgummit. But you know what? Listen, Nolensville got to work on their 2-minute offense, right?
That's right.
It took longer than 2 minutes after the penalties and a lot of the sloppiness, but they got the result they wanted with 3 seconds left.
So unless we see Liberty Creek just take one to the house here, 3 seconds left after the extra point. So here we got a flag on the play after the play, so the touchdown will stand, but we'll see.
It's unsportsmanlike on Nolensville.
Dead ball unsportsmanlike on Nolensville.
I don't know what you're cheering about up 40-0. You know what they used to say, right? Act like you've been there.
Act like you've been there before. So again, just one of them things, Coach Derek, when he has his kids in a locker room, lots of mental errors here. So the extra point after the penalty will be a kick from about the 25-yard line. Kick is up. Plenty of room on that one. Coach, that probably would have been good from 45.
Oh, sure. I mean, the major issue right there with that PAT was don't hit anybody with a trombone in your hand as the band's lined up right underneath the goalpost. I mean.
So with the extra point up and good, not on the scoreboard yet, but it'll be 41-0.
And the Bone Joint Institute of Tennessee.
As Nolensville will kick off for what feels like the 100th time in the first half. 3 seconds remain.
Hey, football fans, please do your part in keeping our stadium beautiful by putting your trash in the proper receptacle. Thank you.
Three seconds, 40-0. Nolensville High School, Paul Breece, Doug Capella here. I think we're just one kick away from, you talked about the band. I mean, you talked about the numbers just blowing up. It looks like they've got the props. They have things on wheels. I can't wait to see what happens at halftime.
And believe it or not, Coach, people will come to the game, as hard as this is for me to understand, they'll come to the game just to watch the halftime show. And then you will see fans exit the stadium here in Nolensville after halftime because they only came to see the band. And as you've already said, it is a major production over there.
Oh.
Nolensville squibs the kick.
Guess what, everybody? There's a penalty. This guy, he has nowhere to go because you almost just want to let that go with 3 seconds left.
So offsides.
Hey, it's like a school teacher. He must be getting evaluated tonight.
That's right. You would think they're getting paid by the flag tonight, but that's not how it works. And it's all been lopsided. I think Liberty Creek, the new team, 1 penalty.
I think you may be right.
1 penalty.
If I was Nolensville, I'd just tell the kicker to kick it and everybody else just stay where you're at.
So we'll try this again.
I mean, I've seen an offsides once, but twice in one game called by the same ref.
You usually don't see offsides on a kickoff because a player has to get ahead of the kicker on the play, and the kicker has the running start.
Well, this is the place kicker. He may be going deep with this. No.
So another squib kick up the middle of the field. Fielded at the 28-yard line. Number 2 is going to be tackled there at the 30. And there you have it, Coach. Halftime here in our WCTV Game of the Week. Nolensville 40, Liberty Creek nothing. We'll be back after halftime. So here we are back, Nolensville High School for your WCTV Game of the Week. Score Nolensville 40, Liberty Creek 0. That's correct for you folks watching us on YouTube.
Just joining us.
Just joining us. It is 40-0 here. And as Coach here informed us, 5 touchdowns means a running clock. So barring a comeback here by Liberty Creek, the clock will continue to run for the duration of the second half. So here's the kick. Nolensville kicks off. Liberty Creek scoops it at the 15 and met promptly at the 27-yard line.
Well, this may be the time, Doug, that we're going to have to grab our rosters because this is probably going to be a fresh group of
clean jerseys coming out on the field, potentially. We'll see.
Tackled by number 46, Carson Kelly. Wolves take over 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So as we talked about, the clock will continue to run throughout this continuation of this game. It is 11:26 here in the third quarter. Paul Breece and Doug Capella bringing you the broadcast here at Nolensville High School. Is Liberty Creek, a brand new school out of Sumner County in Gallatin.
Beautiful home field too. Spoke a little bit on the first half. Horseshoe style stadium. So doing it right up there in Sumner County. So Jake Barbudo starts us off in the second half. Had a heavy workload in the first half. I don't have the stats in front of me. I don't know that he has a lot of yardage, but he did have a lot of carries in the first half. Had a little bit of daylight for a couple plays. For the most part, though, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Rager still in at quarterback. Takes the snap, hands off again to Barbudo, who's going to be met in the backfield. Spins away from a tackler, breaks several tackles, running hard. Coach, tough runner there in Barbudo.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about he's had plenty of opportunities, and he's not going against Nolensville's first defense, so maybe gaining a little confidence. The guys you're running into may not be as bigger, as stronger, but, you know, he's got his opportunities, and as a matter of fact, he may not come out of the game. I'm not sure.
I don't know that Liberty Creek's going to sit any of their starters here. They're going to look to score, right? They're looking for things that they can take away from a game that's been out of hand since early in the first quarter. So they're going to look for some positives here. It's going to be 3rd and about 7. Rager rolls out, still looking,
Fumble.
Puts the ball on the ground, still there.
Oh, the
Nolensville scoops. That's going to be number 44 for the Knights. He's going to score. That's going to be Gary Davis, the junior. So Rager rolls out to his right, looking downfield, and just drops the football. And again, Gary Davis says, "Thank you, sir. I'll pick that up and I will take it down the field."
Another home turf bounce for the Knights. Second scoop and score.
So the Nolensville JV offense, 1 foot on the field, says nope, back on the bench.
And there was a flag on the play. You didn't even realize it. It was a motion. So there we go. New kicker in the game as well.
Number 99.
That's what I'm talking about. That is a kicker number right there. Let's see what he's got.
Kick is up.
Bingo.
The kick is good. So just like that, Liberty Creek starts off on offense, fumbles, Nolensville scoops, scores. Kick is up, 47-0.
Liberty Creek 0.
So Liberty Creek's got to be scratching their head here, Coach. They're going against the JV defense now.
Yeah, you would think right here, Coach Alexander for Liberty Creek, probably thinking, okay, guys, we want to try to win this second half, knowing that the playing.
Let's try to get in the end zone here, maybe get some points.
They were on, you know, the guys that they have are steady guys. You know, we talked about not making mistakes. They hadn't made one all night. I mean, when I say made, you know, mental mistakes, they only had one penalty. Yeah, they had an unfortunate fumble, which was scooped and scored. Now the second one right here. So those 14 points were definitely would be ones that you would chalk up as mistakes. But, you know, from a
Well, in a scoop and score fumble, Coach, that's just bad luck, right? I mean, not often is a fumble picked up in return for a touchdown.
That's
But
right.
Liberty Creek, the 2 fumbles they've had were painful because both were taken back for touchdowns. And so here we go, 99 for the Knights. Going way down the Knights roster here. That's going to be Roderick Diaz back to kick. See if the Knights can stay on sides here, Coach. Diaz waiting for the official signal. Kick is up. It's going to be a short kick.
Uh-oh.
It's going to land on about the 20 where it'll roll out of bounds. And that's going to be a penalty. Coach, that was a hair away from being a live football right there.
Yeah, and that would have been another unfortunate bounce.
So we had a Liberty Creek player and a Nolensville Knight player each within about 2 yards of the football, where it suddenly took a left-hand turn and went out of bounds. But that is a live football, folks. If that ball is handled in the field of play.
Well, if you're a Nolensville Knight on the second team offense, you're probably thinking to yourself, this clock's going to run. Am I going to get out on the field before this game's over?
So to your point, we're halfway through the first quarter, or the third quarter rather.
That's right.
And we've had one offensive drive and a scoop and score defensive play. So essentially we've run 4 plays.
Yeah, 4 plays and an extra point.
And an extra point, and it's halfway through the first. So here we are, first down for Liberty Creek. Got motion. Rager is going to keep it. Has some room to the 50, to the 45, and he's going to roll out of bounds.
Rager on the keeper.
Well, I'm sure if that happened in the first quarter, Rager would have tried to get a little more yardage right there, but he looks exhausted.
Pushed out of bounds by number
So he
2,
gets about 15 yards on the play.
1st and 10 for the Wolves.
Coach, I believe that might have been Rager's first design run of the night. And so we may see a little bit more of that as it moved the ball down the field. So you got Rager at quarterback, Barbudo still at halfback, handoff to Barbudo. Has a little bit of room up the middle, still on his feet, running hard, where he's going to be down at about the 39-yard line.
Well, this will give Coach Derrick an opportunity, right, to see on film what these second team, third team guys can do. In live action, not going against each other in practice, right?
Well, and does he want to preserve a shutout? So does he bring his starters back in if they get too far down the field?
Yeah.
You never know here, but in any regard, it's second and short. Ball on about the 39-yard line. So they're back in their original formation that they opened up in, pretty close to it. Handoff to Barbudo up the middle again, and he looks like he will have a first down.
Barbudo, the ball carrier, gain of 4 on the play.
And they have entered into the Nolensville side of the field.
1st and 10.
First and 10 on the 35. Liberty Creek still taking their time here, letting the play clock run down. So offensively here for Liberty Creek, this is probably their most extensive drive of the night on the 35. Rager fakes the handoff, rolls out, has lots of, oh no.
Sack.
Coach, he's going to be sacked for what looks to be about a 15-yard loss. He rolled away from the pressure, nothing was there, turned around and turned into a host of Knight defenders.
Number 44, Gary Davis.
So he will be sacked for a huge loss, which actually they're marking his forward progress about 10 yards lost there on the sack. Clock still running. Just under 3.5 minutes here in the third quarter. Second and what feels like an eternity here for Liberty Creek. 2 wide to the bottom of the field. Handoff to Barbudo, has some room. Tough sledding there, tough 6 yards on the play, and there is a flag at the end of the play.
Flag down.
See what the refs call here.
Face mask against the Knights.
It's going to be a face mask on the Knights. That's going to be a first down.
First down.
So ball is now on the Nolensville 25-yard line, and Coach, the penalty bug hits the Knights again, this time on the JV.
Well, we got some action in the student section.
Nolensville's crowd's excited here. Something going on in the stands there.
I think they sent in number 73, Prima Vunan, a sophomore, 5'1", 160 defensive lineman.
Barbudo gets the carry here. He's still breaking tackles, and Coach, he's running hard. So when you really think about it here, the Nolensville JV is probably a similar equivalent to the players that Liberty Creek has with the amount of sophomores they have.
Right.
So Barbudo getting pretty good yardage against equivalent talent here on the Nolensville side of the ball. So Liberty Creek putting together a nice little drive here. Barbudo gets the carry again. He's going to have a first down. Coach, he's getting close to the 10-yard line.
Barbudo, the ball carrier, gain of 5 on the play. First down for the Wolves.
1st and 10 on about the 12-yard line. Still can get a first down here. Motion from Liberty Creek. Handoff to Barbudo again. Barbudo gets to about the 7-yard line here. Steady dose of Barbudo here on this drive. So there it is. The commotion here is for number 73 on the Knights. That's going to be Prima Vunam, a 5'1" sophomore. It's always nice to see, Coach, the kids rally around each other. See that young man get some playing time. And he is hyping the crowd here.
He's like, wait a minute, it's only the third quarter, Prima. You may be able to get back in.
So here we go. Back in the football action. Clock running down, under 30 seconds here. Rager's rolling out, looking, scrambling, has a little bit of room, and he is going to be gang tackled close to a first down. See where the official marks it.
Gain of 5 on the play.
This will take us to the end of the third quarter,
Brings up 1st and goal for the
where the
Wolves.
score here is going to be 47 Nolensville, 0 Liberty Creek. The only score here, Coach, was a scoop and score, so Liberty Creek's offense on the field for the entire third quarter.
Yeah.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Well, let's get some scores from around the county.
Here we go.
We got a big one at Ravenwood High School. The Oakland Patriots, perennial 6A power, and the Ravenwood Raptors going head-to-head, and we're tied at 24 at halftime. So if you hear that score, 24 all, and if you're a Ravenwood fan, you're like, all right, I like our chances. We got Page leading 21-0. We've got Fairview down to Westview. They're losing 20-0. And we have Brentwood leading perennial 5A power in Henry County 14-7 late in the third quarter.
We encourage you to join the PTSO and invest in your night. You can join at NHS.
And finally, Franklin High 17, Stewart's Creek 16. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Nail biter there at Franklin High School.
And a much needed victory, if possible, for Franklin. When you go 0-4, that's just tough to see in black and white.
And they've played some close games this year, just haven't been able to eclipse that fourth quarter with a victory. So back here in Nolensville, we got 47-0. Liberty Creek's on about the 2-yard line. Handoff to Barbudo, helmet off, but in the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown, Liberty Creek.
Barbudo the carry. Touchdown, Liberty Creek.
So there you have it, Coach. Liberty Creek, what feels like an eternity on offense in the second half. Finally punching it in, and we have a flag on the field.
Flag on the play.
We got sideline warning. Liberty Creek. They got excited. They ran out a little bit.
Sideline warning on the night.
Looked like
On the roll.
Rager, the quarterback, came off the field. I don't know exactly what the issue was.
Well, here's the problem. There's no holder. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Where'd the holder go? He's checking things out.
Direct snap, coach, to the kicker.
Drop kick.
Snap is back, kick is up,
Ooh, got it.
and the kick is good. So that's going to bring our score, Nolensville 47,
Nolensville 47,
Liberty Creek 7.
Football fans, please do your
Clock,
part and
as you
keep our
notice, is
stadium
continuing the
beautiful
run. So even though the fourth quarter just started, we're still at about 10.5 minutes already in the game.
Well, I know Coach Derek would love to avoid any kind of mistake on special teams so he could get his second team offense out there.
Correct.
Thanks again to the Bone and
Guys,
Joe
do not
Institute
turn it over. They just had it for the whole 12 minutes right there.
Megan Bryan is your athletic trainer, and Dr. Todd Worth.
So here we go for Nolensville.
Visit us at
Back deep to return the kick. Number 88, Quinn Boyd, and number 30, Caleb Farr. See if Liberty Creek goes for an onside kick here. So, Coach, they kicked the extra point at right under 11 minutes. And now that they've lined up for the kick, there's 9 minutes and 45 seconds left. Kick is up. Number 10 for the Knights has the kick, has a little bit of running room there. Flag on the play. Surprise to no one.
Flag on the play.
So as it sits, the ball is on the 39-yard line, waiting for the call here from the official. So it's on Nolensville. I missed the call.
Block in the back.
Block in the back on the Knights, so that's going to move him back.
Well, here we go. First chance to see the quote-unquote twos right on the offensive side.
Mass substitutions here on offense.
I have to get the readers on for this.
So Ty Collins in there at quarterback. Takes snap. Collins is going to keep it. Collins has some wheels. Trips on his own shoe there for a minute, Coach. And he's going to be down after a gain of 21 yards.
Excited.
Tackled by Lopez.
Ty Collins was like, hey, here's how you do it. Good block on the edge right there. Collins got plenty of room. Here you go, got tripped up, but out to midfield are the Knights.
Collins opens up with 3 wide, single back set. Gets a snap, bobbles it, quick pass out to the sideline. Number 10 makes a spin move, still on his feet.
Oh, my.
Still rolling.
Oh.
14 comes up and says, that's enough, sir. So that's number 10, Landon Smotherman.
Listed as a quarterback, by the way.
Landon Smotherman is also their JV quarterback.
Second down.
Here, a little Sweet Caroline we got, Coach.
Yeah.
Here we go, 3 wide again. Play comes in from the sideline.
Liberty Creek's going to call a timeout.
Looks like
which, by the way, does not stop the clock.
Timeout, Liberty Creek. Just a reminder to scan the Kick for Cash.
Well, next week, we got a big one. Doug Capella, Battle of the Woods, or Wood.
Brentwood and Ravenwood are going to square off. Both in tough competition this week. So if they both can pull out a win, it's who has the letdown the following week. I would have to say, Coach, if I had to pick the 2 games, Ravenwood over Oakland would be the bigger victory of those.
Absolutely.
Oakland is a regular in the state championship.
Yep.
Out of Murfreesboro. A little surprised, actually, that they're all tied up going into the fourth quarter. Nolensville opens up 3 wide. This time the ball's handed off to number 35. That's going to be Zion Tamaska.
It's he the young man that scored that.
Had a touchdown earlier tonight.
Probably a little different running behind this unit than the first guys.
Like, guys, where's my lanes at?
Yeah.
So after the timeout, we're already just about midway through the fourth quarter here. Same formation, 3 wide. Collins going to keep it again. Has a block downfield. Gets a little ahead of himself, and another flag on the play. For right now, the ball's down on the 30.
Flag down.
So here we go. Looks like it's going to be against Liberty Creek.
I think it's a horse collar.
Personal foul on Liberty Creek. So tale of two halves here. First half, it was the Knights that played undisciplined, and now it's the second half. Liberty Creek allowing the yellow laundry to come flying.
Well, when you're down by 40, it's kind of hard to look for something positive. And
well, you know, Coach, these are the games where this is a test of character for some of these young men who, you know, you're going to be frustrated because I'm sure there's some smack talk going on down there on the field, and so it's whether or not you can keep your composure. So far, not too bad.
It's a good tackle right
Handoff there again to Zion Tamaska. It's about a yard on the play. 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Your WCTV game of the week, your Nolensville Knights and Liberty Creek High School. They are some sort of feline, I believe, Coach. I'm not quite sure of their mascot.
Okay. Well, we got a flag.
To no one's surprise.
False start, 5-yard penalty.
So there you go, false start, which will run another minute off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go. Second and about 14. Snap is good. Quick pass outside.
Oh, no.
Both defenders go for the football and miss, which makes for almost a touchdown here on Nolensville. Coach, that looked like it for a split second could have gone the other way.
Absolutely. They played it like they were going to go get it.
When he threw it outside, I was like, that might not be the best of ideas, but it was caught nevertheless. Number 30, Caleb Farr, checks into the game.
Well, you see it right there. The quarterback was like, I think we're going to get it.
So here we go. Knights are in 3 wide. Caleb Farr operating out of the slot. Handoff up the middle. Looks like he's going to be short there of the goal line. So here we go. It's going to be second down and goal from about the 1-yard line. Probably much of the same here for the second down play. Rolling down to 3 minutes here. Quarterback keeper. He's going to be in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Flags everywhere.
Ty Collins on the keeper from 1 yard out.
Collins on the touchdown run with the quarterback keeper. Looks like it was after the touchdown.
Well,
so this is either going to be on the kickoff or on the extra point here.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, Nolensville.
Against the Knights. So that will back up the kickoff, or the extra point rather.
Unsportsmanlike, there's the penalty.
Getting a little sloppy here at the end of the game.
Against the Knights.
The clock has stopped for some reason.
Well, we've got a score update. Brentwood now leads 14-12 with 11 minutes left in the game. Page now is leading Coffee County 21-7. So some scores trickling in.
Be interesting to see the update on the Ravenwood score. So here we go, extra point moved back, kick is up. Kick looked outside, no good. So wide right on the extra point. That'll bring our score total. Nolensville 53, and you're visiting Liberty Creek High School 7.
Football fans, please do your part in keeping our stadium beautiful by
Coach,
putting
they're
your trash
ruining your evening plans here with the clock stopped.
Thank you.
Stuck
Yeah.
at 2 minutes and 36.
I'm not sure what happened, but either way, here's the good news. I mean, if you're a Ravenwood High School fan and you're watching this currently, it's on TV. You get home and or you're here at the stadium and we still have a shot. We'll see how it ends. I think we're going to make it. You definitely will make it.
That's right. I do live about 4 minutes away here.
Hopefully some of this traffic will clear out.
Coach, I don't know that anyone's left yet, so you may be out of luck.
Well, yeah, and listen, the halftime show, the band was fantastic. It was definitely worth the price of admission. They are fantastic.
So it looks like they moved the kickoff back to the 30, or the 25 rather, due to the unsportsmanlike penalty. Number 99 for Nolensville is going to kick here. Kick is up. It's going to be fielded at the 30-yard line. 2 for Liberty Creek. Runs to the outside, up to the 40.
Uh-oh.
Another flag here. Flags coming in everywhere. Coach, I believe that's going to be unsportsmanlike as he was hit about 4 yards out of bounds.
You know, it's one of these things where the referees probably have been trained, hey, if we have a lopsided game, we're going to keep throwing those flags. The clock's still going to run, but we're going to try to maintain control so it doesn't get out of hand.
Well, and what you don't want to do is have a player ejected, because that's going to impact playing time in subsequent games. So you don't want to have a player get thrown out.
You know, these guys are excited to be on the field, man.
Sure.
They want to hit somebody, and you know, they're just going out there playing hard.
So we'll see what Liberty Creek tries to do here. They're going to, by the time they snap the ball, they'll be at about a minute and a half. So if they're going to try to get something going here as far as a score, if they're just going to try to get out of here without any more turnovers. So the handoff goes to Barbudo. Has some room. This is probably going to be his biggest gain of the night. Still on his feet. He's going to have about 17 yards on that carry.
Well, this is now it's what we call a 2-minute offense for real, without the clock being able to stop unless they use possibly a timeout. So
they're moving now. They're getting their play. It's probably going to be a heavy dose of Barbudo here. Rager takes a snap, hands off to Barbudo, who again, he's going to get about 6 yards on the carry.
Barbudo, the ball carrier.
Uh-oh, we got some heavy substitution for Nolensville coming in.
There's two defenders left on the field.
I was going to say, if Stewart's Creek snaps it.
Fumble on the play. It'll be Nolensville's ball at the 20-yard line.
They're trying to run the threes out there. Guys, snap your helmets on. Let's go.
Clock winding here. Play clock hasn't even started. So, Coach, the clock could wind down here.
That's right.
And the game could be over. So it doesn't even look like Liberty Creek is lining up to do anything. Maybe save for one more play.
Oh, change of possession. They didn't get the first down. How about that?
We're on offense here.
Yeah, well, that's going to wrap it up.
That's going to be the ball game. And so just like that, clock winds down to 0. I'm Doug Capella with my co-host here, Paul Breece. A close one here, Coach. 53 for the home team Nolensville Knights to 7 Liberty Creek on what was a beautiful night for the WCTV Game of the Week as we close it out with fireworks in the evening sky. Signing off, everybody have a great weekend.